You may have noticed a little bit of a change in my most recent video content. Before, it used to be I would take OBS just like I'm recording right now, and I'd do a one-shot, and I would basically just say, is this good enough? If not, completely redo the video. That's right, I was basically freestyling for about 10, 15, 20 minutes of things off the top of my head, which is great. It actually gives me a little bit more practice to make sure that I'm saying things right, but it's not the best thing that you want to do in the end result for a video, even though I'm doing it right now and I'm taking it in one take. But I have been incorporating a new tool into my arsenal, and that is video editing software. And which video editing software? Well, once again, open source to the rescue. I'm doing everything on a Linux workstation. This workstation over here has an NVIDIA 3070 GPU, an AMD 5950X CPU, 64 gigs of RAM, and plenty of SSD space. So I recently redid the entire configuration on this, as I talked about in a prior video about Pop! OS, and I have really wanted to sit down and focus on leveling up my content and expanding into YouTube. So one thing I did was I broke all the SSDs that were in the Z-RAID 1, so now I have two 2TB SATA SSDs, a 1TB NVMe SSD, which Windows used to be on, which broke the install the last time when I did the BIOS update, gave that just as an extra scratch disk, and then there's a 2TB NVMe, which the main OS is living on. And then I started using Kdenlive. Originally, I wanted to use DaVinci Resolve, but DaVinci ended up being kind of a pain in the ass because I would often record content over here on this Samsung S23. Really great camera. I do have an iPhone as well, but I like the Samsung quality of the camera a lot better. So I would record videos on here, and then I would bring them in to be edited. Now, the one problem that I often had was that they were using MP4. Which is MPEG-4, and it was a lot of the audio codec issues, things like that. Well, someone put me onto it when I was chatting about this on Mastodon, that I have to use FFmpeg to, transcode the video into a different format. And that works fine and dandy. I have a bash script that I put together so that I could do that very easily. But I found the easier way for me was with Kdenlive, because it does that transcoding. I no longer have to deal with, possibly getting the $300 DaVinci Studio license and everything there. I may eventually get into DaVinci Studio, and it does work apparently really well on Linux, and you have to run a script to get it working on Debian-type Linuxes like Pop! OS. That's another discussion for another day, but for now, I'm using Kdenlive. I am loving it. You should check it out. It's for Mac, Windows, and Linux. I've got my NVIDIA encoder going right now on a video that I have just edited. I've got EQ, I've got every feature that I really need, and I even have the ability to use the Whisper audio system, I believe that's what it's called, so that I can actually do subtitles with AI. That feature that a lot of people right now are wanting to use Adobe and such for. And with the Adobe terms of service and everything, I definitely wanted to veer away from Adobe. I want to own my content. I want it to know that it's mine and that no other company can just come and go, whoop. No, we're not having that around here. And that's one of the things that even kind of, made me weary about DaVinci for a while. So Kdenlive is the software that I'm currently using, even though I'm doing this video in a one-shot video as well. And I really think that everyone should go check it out. It's really great. Mac, Windows, Linux. You might need to, learn a few different things, but you don't really need to learn much coding. And this also opens up the door for more people that want to consider Linux as their full everyday driver, which has been one of my goals for my channel, whether it be on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, or, I'm talking about it on Mastodon, my Discord, my Matrix server, which, by the way, you're all free and welcome to join in. There's no fee or anything. The knowledge is free. That's how I always believe that it should be. We're not going to paywall the knowledge, but I really think that everyone should give Kdenlive a fair shake. It has worked astonishingly well for me. I'm still, of course, learning a lot about editing, because so far this is only my second video that I've edited, not this one. I'm probably just going to do a one-shot for this video because I wanted to do off-the-cuff talking about my excitement for using this software, for seeing how that my editing journey is going to improve over time. I learned this time how to do some EQ with my audio, because before I just dropped the audio down. Now I'm doing some EQ to duck the audio down so that I can get some better quality, audio tracks inside of there. And I'm really curious to see where I can go with this journey as far as using Linux for my full content creation, as well as my gaming station, as well as everything else. That Windows over here is really only being used as the OBS stream box, because there's a few plugins that I use for Twitch and such that still won't translate over. The Stream Deck as well, I need to figure out how to get those working on Linux. The capture cards as well are another issue. I do eventually want to move to a full-on 100% Linux workflow for everything, and I think that will be really achievable within the next year or two. So I'm really excited to see what comes about this. I'm really excited to see that Kdenlive is doing everything that I need. I haven't really had much gripes. It's been a lot easier than working with DaVinci, and editing has so far been pretty much a breeze. I'm snapping videos together, and it was very easy to install the file as well on Linux. I just downloaded the app image, and then I ran that after giving it execute permissions, and then I just went about making a desktop shortcut for it. Not desktop shortcut, a desktop file that then links that I can search to it, and then I added it to the favorites bar there. So I will talk about that more in upcoming Twitch streams and such, and I will probably have some content around how I use it for editing. Right now, I just wanted to give the heads up of there's going to be more content coming that I'm going to be editing together and talking about different topics, and I'm really excited for this next phase and chapter in my content creation as I'm trying to pivot away from TikTok into more YouTube and other content sources, because TikTok, for better or worse, it's been great. I have my 371,000 followers over there. It's originally how I started, but it all started by an accident. I was bored in a house. I picked up my phone. I hit record. Some people found my things interesting, whether it be 3D printing, cybersecurity, and such like that. And now TikTok is kind of really shitifying themselves by adopting more and more things to go to the TikTok shop, and I'm not willing to sell my soul as much. I've already got a few partners and such that are wanting to support and sponsor some of my content. Now that I've been on YouTube, I've been seeing it grow pretty well. I have some friends that are helping me out so that I can get clips and everything out. It'll be really fun. I hope that I can continue my journey of educating you all on IT, cybersecurity, Linux, and such through YouTube, and expand that medium than just using TikTok, especially with the upcoming possible ban of TikTok. I want to see what my other options are. While content creation was something I never planned on being, I never wanted to be an influencer. I happened to become one. And now that I have this audience and this community, and a lot of people have told me that I'm the reason that they got back into home labbing, into cybersecurity, upskilling their career, getting the passion again, I want to keep that going for a lot of you. I'm doing this for all of you, and this has been a fun hobby for me along the way as well. So I don't know how to really end this video other than saying happy hacking. See you out there. Join all of my social media if you haven't down below. Like and subscribe, and there's going to be more coming. Don't know if it'll be a video every day, but so far, it's been trending that way. Right now, if you hear some fans blowing, by the way, I'm encoding another video. I've been loving Kdenlive, but yeah. See y'all later. Stay safe out there.